Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we're thrilled to have you as Grand Marshal.
God bless. I appreciate being here.
What are your thoughts as the Supreme Court decision is pending?
Well, I think it'll be a split decision. I think the rights of the 18,000 couples will most assuredly be protected at peril, because that is a serious concern, but one that I frankly think will be resolved next week. And then I think the question is going to be an objective question we all have to ask ourselves: is the bar too low to fundamentally change the Constitution of the state of California? If all you need is 50% of the vote to change a law or the Constitution, why does anyone change the law? Why not just change the Constitution? You never have to worry about the courts adjudicating.
Absolutely. After the passage of Prop 8, you had some comments about alternate universe where Californians elected Obama but took away rights.
No, remarkable.
What kind of alternate universe is it if gays and lesbians have more rights in Iowa than in California?
Yeah, no, maybe Obama was right when he said, as Iowa goes, so goes the nation. I didn't really pay much attention to that at the time. But, as Californians, we've always been dreamers and doers, always on the leading and cutting edge. And it is ironic that we've seen not only Iowa, obviously, but Connecticut and Maine, Massachusetts, and I think we'll see 2 or 3 other states in the next few months that either legislate or have the adjudication of their courts do the same. It's a little frustrating and a little remarkable. And I think for many of us, I don't know that people understood fundamentally what we were doing. We became the first state in U.S. history to change our Constitution to strip people's rights away, save prohibition. That's simply never been done. And that's not what this great state represents. Remember, it was this state that stood on principle when it's California Supreme Court in the late 40s and the Perez decision threw out the rights, or rather the denial of interracial couples to get married. They were the first state in American history to do that. And that's what this state's always represented at our best.
Well, then, can I ask a question? Where do you think we should spend our Where do you think we should spend our time then? I think time would be better spent to change the amendment process and take that right away, I hate to say this, but from the voters, as opposed to launching another marriage campaign. Why not just change the process and then rely on the legislators in the court?
Well, the irony of that is, let's change it after we go back to the voters and then change back the Constitution and then say, all right, fair is fair. Now we raise the bar. But I do think it's a legitimate point. Look, there's no recourse. It's amazing. 3 branches of government potentially won't be able to protect the rights of a minority, only the voters. And you know the history of the rights movement. Never has it been the voters that have advanced the rights of minorities. It's always been the courts. We've taken the legislature out, the governor's now out. Even if he signed the marriage equality bill, it still won't matter because, again, the constitutional amendment. So it's a pretty damning thing. But you're right. Look, the bar is so low on a fundamental issue that the idea of a revision versus amendment, obviously that needs to be debated. And I think you'll see with Chief Justice George's opinion, because he was leaning in this direction.
Really
I think he's going to really open up that debate. But again, let's have that debate after we fix this problem.
So if you're
by
governor,
going back
is
to
there
the
anything
voters.
you could do administratively?
I don't think there is. I mean, unless this court comes out with a very interesting and surprising decision, and that's always a prospect. Again, Chief Justice George, I don't think is particularly pleased that he went out on a limb himself writing that majority opinion, only to see the voters withdraw it, and now put him in the court at a position where they're saying, look, we can't protect your rights. And so I think there's always a chance that this decision comes down, and that opens that prospect up.
One last question. Your words were used
Against me.
Prop 8 against you.
Yeah.
But it's funny, they're prophetic in that after Prop 8, it is going to happen, and the door is still wide open.
And my comments were taken out of context, which is fine, but it was all about the rights movement and the history of the rights movement. Remember, in 1967, in the Loving versus Virginia case that denied interracial marriage in those remaining 16 states, it was the U.S. Supreme Court that overturned unanimously those laws. But 70% of Americans opposed that decision, 70%. So whether we liked it or not, the principle of equality was advanced by the courts,
Did
and
no
that's the
one ever
nature.
approach you to do a commercial to correct the commercial that the
No.
other people were running?
No, we I don't want to look back. Let's look forward. But I think a lot of us learned.
Why didn't they do one with him saying, "Wait a minute"?
We weren't involved in much of that campaign at all. And candidly, that campaign there was a lot of internal friction. wasn't as well organized as I think most of us hoped or believed it should be. And we didn't reach out to diverse communities in the state. And that's the biggest mistake we made, is we didn't reach into the African American churches and
others.
others.
Vote in our interest, the first-time voters, because they were black or Hispanic. But their churches were telling them another thing, and we didn't go in the churches and tell them anything different.
I knew we were in trouble the last weekend I was out there, and they were handing out in every African American church that I went to, they were handing out huge flyers with Barack Obama saying he's against gay marriage. Yes on 8. And I just knew we were dead then, when in fact he was against Proposition 8. He was on our side, yet there was nothing to counteract that.
Miss California's been saying that she has the same opinion as Barack Obama.
I know. Yeah, and Sean Hannity reminds us that every day, that Hillary Clinton,
as soon as he's waterboarded, he can have an opinion.
Yeah, exactly. We're still waiting for that.
Waiting.
I think this gentleman wants to.